What up, fam? Welcome to another episode of Sitting on a Stoop. It's exactly what I just said in the title, which is just sitting on a stoop, and that's just us sitting on the porch talking about life and whatever's going on with us. Huh? And in this episode, I kind of want to dive into something really specific, and that's feminism. I know a lot of you on here probably don't give or have something against it. Just hear me out right quick. Last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I was listening to my friend Ryan's new podcast, Bad Bricks, which I'm a huge fan of right now. Timmy adds a little fire to it, which is, throws a rock to the way of thinking for a lot of people. And I find that really interesting. Not saying I believe in whatever he says. He has the right to have his viewpoints. And I'm not here to say he's completely wrong or that he's ignorant. No, that's not the point. But he did bring up something about feminism, and it got me thinking. And this is not to attack him or anything. How I feel about that now. Because I used to be very machismo, I guess, younger shy, like younger, like early teens machismo shy. That big belly man. No, that's not, definitely not like that right now. Even when I was still serving as a Marine, I wasn't like that. Until recently, I did have viewpoints where I believe that women shouldn't be in the military, or at least infantry or combat related roles. I mean, yeah, at the time there were fighter pilots, there were, kind of rear echelon stuff, and I'm a pogue myself, so I'm not really saying that I'm an infantryman. That's not what I'm saying. I never really wanted women to be in that role, only because I never thought they'll be physically capable of doing the job. I understand being an infantryman or a combat related role requires a lot of physical requirements needed to do the job. And I didn't really find, at least in my experience, many women that can keep up carrying a ton of weight on your back, like marching for like 25 miles in the heat. I haven't seen that many, but I do know that there are some. Congress had an agenda about moving women into these roles recently, like within the past couple of years. One of the things I was worried about is just lowering our standards. Like, why are we going to lower our standards? If they can't do it, then don't do it. I don't think many women can do it anyways, nor even they want to. So that was an argument amongst itself. Are they physically capable of doing it? And must we lower the physical requirements to be able to do the job? I know the Marines were very strict on it. Marine Corps boot camp is still segregated between women and men. Only recently, women were allowed to go into Ranger School for the Army and join the infantry in the Marines, and test subjects at that. Like, they just kept falling out. They could keep dropping out of school until one day, 3 female Marines actually made it through. And that was it. I still had a problem with that. Like, I wasn't there. Like, there's no way. It was pretty sickening the way I think about it right now. The other side of that coin was, do I want women to be drafted? If you want to have women to have equal footing in the military, that means all women going forward, or girls when they become 16, should sign up for the draft, as most men do when they become that age, right? You should be ready to sign the dotted line saying that if you're needed in a time of conflict, you're going to sign up and go. Do you want that for your daughters? At the time, I didn't. I didn't want that. Men should do it. Very, chivalry, open the door for women type of deal. We should put ourselves in front of them, yada, yada, yada. Even when I was like watching things like the Avengers, when all those female characters literally got up and stood by Captain Marvel to charge towards Thanos. Like, I had a problem with that. It was so forced that it bothered the shit out of me. It wasn't until a couple months after I had Luna where I really dove into that thought process and challenged it. Although I don't want my daughter Luna to join the military and have to endure the things that I've done, I don't not want her to have the opportunity to do so. Like, I want her to have strong role models. Like, I want her to do whatever she thinks she's capable of doing and not be restricted by things that men say that she can or cannot do. Like, it took me to have a daughter, and I always thought, like, because I've already done it. Like, I've seen it with my own brothers in the club with daughters. Like, the best way for me to explain it is doing what they did in Bad Boys 2, where Will Smith and Martin Lawrence scared the bejesus out of a kid that's about to date one of their daughters. Better yet, Den of Thieves. Like, this was a perfect one with 50 Cent. Like, that's how I envisioned if I were to have a daughter one day dealing with a boy coming around. But now that I think about it, I don't want to do that. I want to be comfortable knowing that my daughter can kick your ass. That's it. Like, she can take care of herself. I don't need to be there until you really do something stupid. I'll be confident enough to know that she can handle her own, both mentally and physically. And that's the same thought process that I want to push forward, is that I want her to have all the opportunities and get the same awards and responses and respect, equality and pay, like, all together as men do. When I rewatch Endgame and I look at that one scene one more time, I'm proud. Like, I want Luna to see that. I want her to strive to be strong and think that she doesn't need a man in her life to do what she needs to. Like, when Timmy said domestication, if they so choose to putting women back in, like, that just like bothers the shit out of me. I'm like, no, I don't want Luna to have to feel that a man needs to take care of her. And a man has to allow her, if she so chooses, to want to stay at home. Like, shit, I want to stay at home. I'll stay at home all day. My wife, Venus, go make the money and the bread for the family. I don't care. I'll stay home. Hell yeah. I'll be one of those moms that goes out and kicks the ball with other dads with their kids. Like, I don't care. That sounds like a good gig for me. But I want Luna to do whatever she pleases, not have the contractual obligation to want to do something based on what societal needs. If she wants to do that, cool. The only difference between that or not is the physicality of her, or a time clock with her having her own child in the future. That's the only difference. But aside from that, I don't want her to feel like she has to be domesticated. Like, I want her to be strong enough to do things like that. That's why, like, when I'm buying Brickmania minifigures now, if I have an opportunity to get a female minifigure, I most likely will, especially if it looks like her, like a brunette, light skin toned. I'm going to try to get a minifigure that's just like that, just so that way when she grows and she sees it, she's surrounded by a military figure who's a female and resembles what she looks like. Like, I want her to know that she can do that. I don't know why, like, that bothered me so much listening to that, what Timmy said. But like I said, it's not against you, Timmy. Like, I know you're never going to watch this, but do you, bro? I'm not going to try to change your mind. That's not the point of this. I'm just trying to vent why I feel, like, women just need an equal footing in most things. And now that I see, or the Cafe Con Lego said it, especially with Holly coming around, there's been women in the Lego community a lot, right? It wasn't Holly just popped out of nowhere and everyone's saying, well, it's nice to have female Lego enthusiasts in the community now. There's always been female Lego community. Why now are people starting to realize that? They might not be all over YouTube, they're in other places, but they're there. Pay attention next time you go to a Lego convention or you check around Instagram. There's a lot of them. All these boys forget. It's kind of sad, but yeah. I have strong women in my family. My wife herself, she is a very strong woman. Both of our mothers came from another country. My mother came from the Philippines. Her mother came from Mexico. She brought her kids, like my wife and my brother-in-law, her brother, to the United States. They didn't know English, had to pretty much learn the culture, learn the language without getting caught. You know what I mean? And eventually, they worked their way up through not only getting their citizenship, but my wife graduating from college. Like, both of them having beautiful families, a home to put over their heads, like something to offer the next generation of our family. Same thing with my mom. Like, she came here with the intention of just going to school and going back home, but she accidentally had me. I'm an accident. First one in that side of the family, at least on my mom's side, to make it here, born here, and to have what I have. Like, Luna has some strong women to look up to, which is good. And it's hard to see, like, women not put in a role that's not objectified or placed on a pedestal. Like, that's not what I want for her. Like I said in the beginning, like, I want to know that my daughter can kick your ass if she so chooses to. And that doesn't have to be just physically, mentally too. Like, if she wants to outdo you, she can. And I hope I'm strong enough as a father to make that happen for her. It's pretty much all I can give her. That's pretty much it. I just want to vent that out there. This is going to be a quick one. And if you've made it with me all the way to the end of this video, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, like, comment, subscribe below. And I'll see you on the next video.
You can give the scoop, he'll go part for part and give a great review. You want a heart to heart, they're sitting on the stoop. We're not concerned with the views of the Lego group, cause we're the misfit bricks, this is what we do.